Hello and welcome to this cryptocurrency technical analysis where I'm going to be going through the Ethereum chart today and the $85,000 prediction on Ethereum. Is this realistic? Is this possible? That would be life-changing sums of money if we see this massive explosive move to the upside on Ethereum. I will be going through that in this video. I'm also going to be going over more of the local term time frame ideas, as I do obviously sit in a long position on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, along with a few other people right now. Obviously, Mike done the first Ethereum video for you yesterday. This is a follow-up, and ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you really enjoyed this video. It's going to be a bit of a 3 parts, starting off part number 1, introduction, part number 2, local term time frame, how I am actually trading this using the technical analysis, and part number 3, wow, that $85,000 prediction, is this at all realistic? Is this potential? And well, let's go over that towards the end of the video. Starting off with a really quick introduction. Obviously, it was my birthday weekend. We partied hard, had a good time. It was nice to take a little bit of time off of the charts and just get got pretty wasted. It was a brilliant time though. And yeah, for the people that I spoke to over on Twitter, obviously I had a fun time trolling over on Twitter. So please do not take any of the tweets that I've done over the weekend seriously, because yeah, I was in a trolling mood. And yeah, I'll just say that. For the YouTube though, this is going to be back on the professional, as always, the YouTube that will keep this. So with that said, let's go into the chart, shall we? So, yeah, yesterday morning, I obviously was posting out a few tweets saying, I think personally Bitcoin's looking, pretty decent here. Obviously, we're still in a range, hit the low of the range. Generally, you're obviously looking for longs at the low of the range and shorts up at the high of the range. So, yeah, I'm long on Bitcoin. And then also was mentioning the altcoins are looking interesting. So, long on a few altcoins as well, which obviously includes Ethereum right now. So, that's obviously the first thing to be aware of. I am long on these assets at the moment. Obviously from a little bit lower than where we are right now, because, even since Mike released that video yesterday, Ethereum moved up about another 8%. So just something to bear in mind, obviously saying, all right, profits already on these coins, but nothing massive. So yeah, let's begin then. So Ethereum, what we can do is start here on the 4-hour time frame, and this part is going to be very similar to what Mike was saying yesterday. I think he captured it very well. Obviously, myself and Mike are not the same trader. So Mike trades his own plans, I trade my own plans. Sometimes they're similar, sometimes they're extremely different. But here our Ethereum analysis is pretty similar, I believe, really on the local term time frame here. Massive weekly support. Obviously, it was not touched on each of these 3 times. Slightly front run, that that's absolutely fine. So slight front run of the weekly, which obviously this was for me would have been an amazing buying opportunity, but because it never hit, never got involved at the very lows of the move there, which is fine. I managed to get in. Well, you saw in my money shot, $1,900, and that was really simply. Unfortunately, I did miss the long off the weekly. Was waiting for this, and it never come. But that doesn't matter. You have to get in when you then see the next sign of strength, which was for me after we got the confirmed trend change and we started to obviously hold back above. Well, for me, it was after we got the trend change back up above the value area high. I don't know, it just looked decent to think to myself, yeah, I'm happy to get involved and buy this again now. Clear demand coming in off around the weekly level. For me, it's enough to buy. So that brings us up to where we are now. We obviously have seen a fairly nice rise to the upside. I am also going to be taking a look at the ETH BTC pair in a second. So yeah, you can see, this is the thing. I wouldn't get too drawn to patterns on the lower term time frames, but some people are going to see this as maybe a rising wedge here locally. So you can start to see you could potentially have this rising wedge. Again, I'm not really a pattern trader, to be honest with you, but I'm sure some people are looking at this. Rising wedge obviously is a bearish pattern, but you could just see it do this, for example, and then continue up again. So yeah, I'm not personally trading that rising wedge, but it's just something I saw in the Bitcoin charts. Yeah, so for me, obviously the bigger resistance is coming in here around the daily, which is $2,242. Obviously that weekly, was $1,686 if you want to take notes of these, and the big monthly is obviously still there at $2,776. So you can view this as a range. Obviously, this is the low of the range. Would be the middle of the range, which you can use for take profits on longs or switching into short positions, of course. Then you have the high of the range up at the monthly, really. On this is, a range that has been going on for, over a month, really, when you zoom back a little bit as well. So, it's a well-defined range. And, if we break that monthly and start holding it as support, then that big weekly is coming in $3,928. So I feel at the moment we have to, trade the range for what it is. E.g., you lean bullish at the lows of the range. You lean not necessarily bearish on the middle of the range, but caution, scalp shorts of the middle of the range, but bigger targets towards the higher range, just like Bitcoin, really, just like Bitcoin. We obviously had the very well-defined daily level at 30,300, which is obviously the lower of the range. At the lower of the range, you look for longs, and at the higher of the range, you look for shorts. So that same theory applies to Ethereum. You look for longs at the lower of the range, shorts at the higher of the range, and the middle of the channel. Bit of a day trader's paradise, I suppose. That's my initial thoughts on the ETH USD pair. But obviously, I'm basing a lot of my stuff, even though I'm trading ETH USD and ETH USDT, obviously on Bybit. I do like to look at the really Coinbase or Binance charts to get a bit of a understanding of what's going on the spot side of things. So I like to look at the ETH BTC strength, although I'm not actually trading this pair. And we can see this big weekly level, which was obviously a resistance, has now broken. You can see here prior, it's been a very nice support, flipped into resistance, and locally here, flips back into support. Again, we would like to see a weekly close above this weekly level, but we're only on Tuesday. So there's a long time to wait for this. E.g., I would be more interested in the lower term timeframes, but where a weekly close above this is really what we want to see. But then it does, you do risk missing, it all comes down to risk reward at the end of the day. If you wait for the weekly close, you could totally miss the move if this explodes, or you could wait for the weekly close and Ethereum dumps, didn't take the trade, you're very happy. So it all comes down to that risk to reward at the end of the day. Of course, this video is not financial advice, so you have to make that decision yourself whether this is worth the risk to reward here. But I feel this weekly level is very important. Now we are above it. I wouldn't really want to see us losing this level, or if we lost the level, for me, this is again, I'm trading against USD, but losing this level for me would be a sign of weakness. Yeah, I wouldn't really want to see this happening. It wouldn't make sense to me to hold on to my longs as tightly as I am at the moment. So this is a big level for me. Obviously, if we lost the level and then reclaimed it, well, then that's, that would be then a sign of strength. So you obviously have to react to what's happening. Just because you lose a level doesn't mean you cannot reclaim it, but a loss of that weekly level for me is important. That is coming in against ETH BTC at 0.06 sats. Okay, so obviously what you could bear in mind here is if Bitcoin breaks down from this rising wedge, okay, and the ETH BTC pair temporarily loses the weekly, but then the Bitcoin pair actually fakes out of the rising wedge and rises, and the ETH BTC pair does a little bit of a fake out before a reclaim. Obviously, that would be temporarily bearish, and you would have to remain cautious, because if Bitcoin's breaking down and ETH is breaking down, there's no need to catch the falling knife. There's no need to be the hero. But what you could say is, okay, potentially close out of the longs, take profits. But if it gets the reclaim, well, that's actually a very good sign. That would be from a sign of weakness to a sign of strength. And you have to have that bit of intuition, bit of guts about you to recognize when weakness turns to strength. Again, in this case, it's fairly simple because we have a very, very, very well-defined level in terms of the weekly. Okay, so that's kind of my game plan right now. That's how I am literally trading ETH. I am long on ETH, I am long on Bitcoin, and I have long on a few other altcoins as well, actually. And that's kind of my game plan for this. I have no reason to trade it otherwise right now. We're in a very nice defined range. So that brings us on to the $85,000 prediction. So this might blow your mind. You might think, Daniel, you're not the type of guy that makes these kind of wild predictions. What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is I got peer pressured into making this prediction. I know I got baited into it pretty much. Somebody made a lovely thumbnail, and it warranted talking about it in the video because it was pretty funny. And I will use that thumbnail for this video with probably a lovely title. But yeah, $85,000 ETH. Is this realistic? is this, is there a potential in this? And what will we need to see in terms of Bitcoin and Ethereum to reach, these sort of insane price targets? Well, I've already done a little bit of math. In my opinion, 85,000 seems a little bit unrealistic, of course possible. I think if we saw the best case scenario, I've seen price of around $65,000, $69,000 ETH, but this would require Bitcoin trading at 350,000. So it would basically, for the target that I just mentioned, about $65,000, $69,000, it requires Bitcoin trading at around $350,000, and it requires the ETH BTC pair to get about 1,000% gain to the upside, which basically sees it trading at around 0.5. So if you see that about 1,000% gain, again, this is so long term, like, you cannot trade off of this. So let's just bear this in mind. This is totally a wild prediction. It just makes no sense in my trading strategy to talk. I would never, ever trade for such crazy predictions, because it's just not what I do. I'm just doing this to entertainment and educational video. The only way you would see such insane price targets on ETH is for this to hit around 0.5, Bitcoin to be trading at around 350,000, and then you would see your price targets coming in at around, mid 60k on ETH. 85,000, saying it's going to have to go crazy. But yeah, if this obviously starts breaking 0.5 and heads to 0.1, well done to anybody holding any ETH, because it's going to be pretty insane. But again, I'm really not thinking about that. All I'm thinking about is this local range. Yeah, this is what I'm on about. This is what I'm trading. This is how you can make money, in my opinion, in trading. It's not by these wild, crazy predictions. They're just for, I don't even know what they're for, but they're just for, this is how I would say you trade, you can make money, because this is consistent. You got the consistent levels, you know where you're entering, you know where you're wrong, and you can make an actually informed plan out of that. So that's my opinion on ETH. That's how I'm currently approaching this. And for me, I'm very happy with this. Bit of information to end, if you're interested, some really, really, really good news today, and that is Bybit actually listed BNB, Sol, Matic, EOS, Ethereum Classic, and Phil. Obviously, off of the news that I'm sure many of you saw, that Binance are getting, they're banned by the FCA. Again, do your own research on all of this. There's a few links here that you can use. Customer service is found, obviously, on the BBC, on Watchdog. So it seems pretty legit information, but do your own research on this. But yeah, off of the back of Binance getting in a lot of bad news, Bybit come up with the goods of offering us at least to be able to trade BNB, which I do find kind of hilarious. So yeah, if you're interested in joining Bybit, you can get up obviously, lots of people will advertise about a $2,000 bonus. The thing is, it's very kind of unrealistic that you'll get such a high bonus, but you can at least guarantee yourself, a lower amount with our affiliate bonus link. If you're interested in that, I'll leave it in the comments down below. Ladies and gentlemen, what I will say is, if you have enjoyed this video, smash the likes. I would really, really, really appreciate that. And if you do want to see my Bitcoin analysis, obviously currently in a long on that, then let's say this gets, let's give you a bit of a target, 1,500 likes, and that will require everybody to hit the thumbs up button, because it's quite hard to get such a high amount of likes. So if you want to see a Bitcoin analysis by me for free on YouTube, and again, I will have no trolling in this one, a serious analysis, then yeah, smash the likes, 1,500, I'll bring you a Bitcoin analysis. So if that sounds good, you know what to do. Smash the likes, share this with your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you've enjoyed, and I hope it's offered you a bit of perspective. As ending, as always, no financial advice. All of this video, entertainment, educational video only. Of course, I'm not telling anybody what to do, and please understand this legal disclaimer. So yeah, there you go. Have a good day. Thank you, and that's me signing out. Cheers. Bye.